All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol NIO, NEO Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all my first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to my channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all my subscribers, welcome back, and let's jump into this chart. So, NEO Inc. has actually broken through the 39 and some change mark that I had stated yesterday. It was close to 39.76, give or take 1 cent or 1 cent less, but I had stated it yesterday. It was a super important number for the next coming days and weeks. So if it broke through that, this was going to see new highs, new resistance levels, and newer highs pulling away from the 50-day moving average. And here we see it. So once this was getting to resistance, it was struggling to go ahead and break away from it. There was some battle here between the bears and the bulls. You could see it clearly. Even above it, just a slight bit. The bears were trying to stop this from keep on going, but the bulls appeared here and they went ahead and brought this up to newer highs. We were slightly fighting, right, to get past $40. It was barely getting there. It was up in the 39 to 80 cent range, almost 90 cent range. And from that point forward, it broke away, broke through the $40 mark. And here we are seeing our new resistance levels, our new location, and we're going to look at our new supports. This is going to be a little bit broader than how we've seen it in the last couple of days because the reaction has been pretty narrow, and now this has been a significant jump, and this is continuing to leave the 50-day moving average behind. That's one of the most important things. You can see in the chart from this point forward that the bulls have been always trying to break away when the 50-day moving average is getting close to them, even here, and getting further and further away from it as much as possible. So currently, we are getting closer to what a lot of analysts are saying. Almost every analyst is saying $50, $60, and some people are even throwing this up to 100 plus, right? But right now in the short term, we're getting pretty close to the $50 range, and we're going to have to see the behavior of this stock coming up in the next coming days and weeks. And even as it gets closer, or if it even misses it, because there could be a rejection on its way up. But so far, this has been on a run. We're clearly seeing that. And all those consolidation periods have gotten smaller and smaller every time. And from this point forward, at around $26, this has been a run. This is not even giving a chance for consolidation. This is just saying we're running up, and we're going to continue to run up. That's what NEO is doing right now. It's breaking through resistance levels. It's breaking through newer highs and also pulling away from the 50-day moving average significantly every single time. So great news here for all the bulls. Anybody that's riding this, congrats to you. Pay very close attention to these next cues. And I also want to say thank you to all my investors and viewers that have been answering the trivia questions, which I'm going to have one at the end of this video. I want to say thank you to you guys for taking the time to answer. And yesterday's was in regards to what was the highest point and why is it important. And you guys answered it. And yes, it was up here at $39 and some change. And from that point forward, it had actually broken through it and we just saw it run up. It was super important for the bulls. And we're going to look at the most important numbers for tomorrow and also for the coming days, depending on how this behaves. Now, obviously tomorrow is Friday, so it's going to be very important to pay close attention to how this stock reacts and where it's heading. So the 50-day moving average has actually catched up to the resistance level that was there previously, and that's 38.70. As long as we're above it, we're in bullish territory. The moment we're below it, we're in bearish territory. So keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and see here what's our new points of reference so that we can go ahead and see what will be important for tomorrow. Obviously, it has moved up. I've told you guys this is a very broad stretch here. We need to pay close attention to this. And also, I want to use some points of reference here that could also help on the way down, because this was such a bullish territory run. I mean, basically it was a bullish territory run, but this is such a bullish significance here. Like There's no bear anywhere around it. So I want to go back and point out this number here. This was one of the highest points reached before even waiting for support. And that's down here at 39.76. 39.76, between 39.76 and 39.74. I'd pay very close attention, give or take, to those numbers, because that's the highest point before this bullish run even existed or happened. Obviously, it was broken through and it reached newer highs. But if this was to take the other trajectory, that could be one of the first support levels to pay close attention to, between that area and our new support. So let's move this exactly to its location so we can see here what is important for tomorrow and, like I said, for the coming days. So one of the most important numbers here, other than the 50-day moving average letting us know where we're at, because this support level is super close to it and it can change the trajectory of this whole entire chart and give leverage to the bears. So up here at the resistance, 43.95, this needs to be broken through by the bulls. We're currently at 43.62. 43.95 needs to be broken through by the bulls, turn into a support so that they can pull away and reach newer highs. Most significant number right now for this rally and this run to continue. 43.95, and when I emphasize that, needs to be broken through by the bulls to go ahead and break away from it to reach new highs and new resistance levels. Now, on the other hand, we have our support. The support level is 38.90. If that gets broken through, there's a really small window between 38.90 and the 50-day moving average to see who is going to start gaining control. And that's a big jump from this very volatile bullish run into the direction of volatility in a bearish run. So between the support and the 50-day moving average, you have a small window to see who is dominating the chart, and are the bulls going to reappear and bring this back up, or are the bears going to tear this down and get this into bearish territory. So 38.90, I want to emphasize to all investors, pay close attention to how the stock is reacting and how quickly it's hitting newer lows. And again, up here at 39.74 to 39.76, give or take, super important number to keep in mind, because that is one of the first support levels, because it was the resistance level before and it turned into a support afterwards to continue to pull away. So on its way down, it's turned into a support that you can actually use to pay close attention to. The behavior between 39.74 to 39.76, again, give or take, and between that and our current support level of 38.90 to see what is going on in between before you have to wait till the support and the 50-day moving average little gap there. That's a very narrow stretch. So instead of waiting for that point to see what's going on, because you're still in bullish territory when it gets closer to support, you have another point of reference that's a little bit wider. It's still pretty narrow to see who is going to dominate the chart, how quickly it's going down, or how quickly it's going back up. So super important cues for tomorrow. I hope you guys find this helpful and informative. Again, I want to emphasize that the bulls need to break through this resistance of 43.95, because 43.95 is the highest point in valuation reach of NEO. And for the bulls to continue the rally, they're going to have to break away from it by breaking through it and turning it into a support to reach new highs and new resistance levels. Now, as always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. So, trivia question. Trivia question for today is, what has happened previously in this chart that is not happening now? What has happened? I mentioned it in the video. What has happened, and has it gotten longer or shorter? And the reason why I ask is because it's going to be very important to keep in mind, because as fast as it's running up, it can change quickly into a different direction, which I doubt that will happen with that type of volatility, because this is being held up by big fish, like I always say, or small fish investing in a big bowl with the big fish, and the big fish are the ones definitely holding this up But what has happened in the past in this chart that used to happen at a longer time frame, and now it's happening in a shorter time frame, and why is it important to keep that in mind? I want to see what your guys' thoughts are on that, and if you guys can answer that for me down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.